Welcome to Hoopfiles. Shout out to Hoopfiles.
Shout out to hoopfiles.
But yeah, just trying to stay ready for what's to come, you know.
So since so the last time we proper sat down and spoke was 2020. Yeah, and 2020 October times.
Yeah,
So yeah, almost literally almost 2 years. So I'll say, what has happened from then till now in the life of Denzel, athlete?
what's been going on, man, since let me see if I can do a little timeline. So I think since our last conversation, that's when, yeah, that's during like the COVID season, I believe. So obviously there wasn't any fans coming in or anything like that. Made it to the playoffs that season, and then most random opportunity came about as well. So ended up being in a part of Giannis's new movie called Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stunt double, which is crazy, the most random experience ever. But honestly, I think that was a blessing in disguise, just to be, in that environment, just to see another side of what basketball could present to me. You know what I mean? Just literally a random day, got a message on Twitter, thought it was fake at first. I was just like, yeah, no, this is fake. And I just swiped. Well, let me check who this guy was. He was verified. He was in all, like, loads of movies, TV shows as well. And I was like, oh no, this is legit. Like, let me call and just see what's up. And then literally a week later, I'm in Greece on set, helping guys film and stuff like that, giving my little basketball knowledge here and there. Crazy experience, the most random. So yeah, I was a stunt double in the Rise movie. And then that was for about like 5-6 weeks as well. Long time, but it was a good experience, great experience. And then what else happened that year? Yeah, I came back in the summer, just working out loads. And then last season, that was the transition from Raiders to Patriots. So joining Patriots now, new franchise, kind of a beginning, almost like a rebuilding, if you will. That was the prettiest start to a season, but we was just trying to thug it out. It was great that Barcelona was still in Plymouth as well, because these fans are crazy, man. Like, best fans in the league, hands down, for sure. So I'm glad that there was still a team in the city, for sure. Yeah. So, grinding it out. But then we got coming, the Americans came in, they switched around, which was big for us, ended up making playoffs, and unfortunately lost to the hands of big bad boy Leicester, but it is what it is, and then
tough team.
They only lost 2 games for a reason, man. They lost 2 games for a reason. They're legit, they're serious, man. But yeah, now we're here, this summer been just traveling the world, just seeing what there is to life outside of London, Peckham, and Plymouth, So yeah, man, just been enjoying it, and here I am, man.
That's good. I want to ask you, so the Giannis Rise film opportunity. So if you could break down that experience, like how was it on a day-to-day? Because there's another side of basketball where now is like opportunities like business side and other venture side. So how was it being a stunt double, and what was like the scenes and scenarios through that whole experience?
So it's a weird one, I guess. Like, so regular day would be, waking up probably like 5:30, 6 in the morning, getting ready, going to like the trailers and stuff like that. Like, there's this massive park just full of trailers, obviously, where you get changed, do your costume, your makeup and stuff like that. They had to shave off all my head, my beard was gone.
Oh,
bro, never again. But yeah, I had to shave my hair, beard, cover up like the tattoos with like makeup and stuff as well. That was pretty dope. And yeah, I think like the day started at like 8, really. So obviously you get to sign in, register and stuff like that. 7:30, have a little breakfast, coffee, whatever. And then by like 8:30, they transport you from like the trailer area to like the set. So my first day, it was on the outdoor court. like big colorful outdoor court. They I think it was about Giannis's first session, like first practice session and stuff like that. So yeah, I was there on the sidelines, just waiting, chilling. I was with the sports coordinators. The name's Hernando and Amy as well, and then another double named Samson, who was doubling for the main actor. So we're just there, Amy, Hernando's main actor, they're doing their thing as well, and then some doubles we're just kind of on the sideline, just kind of waiting, being ready for it and stuff like that. But it's funny because the main actors, they can kind of play basketball well enough.
Yeah.
And then when I was doubling for, like, stature-wise, I'm a little bit lankier, a little bit more broader than him. So it was really tough to kind of like, all right, cool, Denz, you do this, because to the naked eye, to a normal eye, you can see like, oh, that's two different people. So really throughout the whole like time filming, I was just basically on the sideline, just kind of offering my like little advice, expertise to like the guys acting, really. So it was just long days of just chilling, waiting around, not doing anything, just trying to talk to people, keep my mind just occupied and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just a crazy experience. It's just, I really have to like think about like each day, because each day was pretty much different.
Yeah.
But our days, it was a sick experience, to be honest, man. I know people listening, they'll probably be like, yeah, 12 hours of doing nothing, that's dead. But I think the people I was around, seeing like a Disney production like being made, like that's just like, whoa, like this is how it's done, this is how they get that angle, different way they communicate with people, so on and so forth. It was just a whole crazy experience. But no, it was sick, man. I was pretty much there as a basketball, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Liaison, I guess you can say, just offering like my little basketball knowledge. Like, oh yeah, if you do this move, try and make it look like this will look good. Or if you're going for a dunk, try and do this, it will look good. Or to finish the dunk, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Sick, man. That sounds, honestly, it is an amazing opportunity as well, because like I say, especially with a lot of basketball players, like, they don't really think about these opportunities like that, which is like, oh, these things can happen. So yeah, no, that's very good. It's very interesting. Must have been a very good experience to always remember. Like,
honestly, it was a great experience. You're in Greece. It was crazy because this is the middle of lockdown, like in the peak of it as well. I had to go to the embassy, get my visa, had to do all the COVID tests as well. Even when I flew in there, as soon as I stepped off, just a little thing up the nose as well.
yeah,
COVID, had to quarantine for about a week and a bit. Like, it was in the peak of COVID, but still, it was like a great experience, just such a sick experience, man. I wish like everyone could experience that, it was just incredible meeting people, different cultures, different backgrounds, meeting actors as well, seeing how they are when, they're, not in front of the camera to when they're on the camera. Like, it's just such a sick experience. Crazy.
That's really good, man. That's really good. So now with transitioning from Raiders to the Patriots, and going through that season, and sort of rebranding, and how has the seasons been since the rebranding, and just where you guys have been as a team and as a player? Where's your mind been?
I think it's hard to say from a team aspect. I think because there's obviously a new basketball club. Essentially, it is a new basketball club. Raiders is Raiders, Patriots is Patriots. So I think even though they are the same like personnel that used to work with Raiders now in Patriots, I think the whole mindset was like, all right, cool. This is a fresh start, new basketball club. Like, we're here to do a job still. We're here to, continue to put Plymouth on the map and to grow from it, to really show like, look, we're just not a club that's just here to fill in a void. We're here to like, establish their own identity, their own. So I think that was everyone's mindset, especially in the beginning, because, we didn't have like American license or American visas. So it was loads of the Brits, had to take the helm of things, really just gut it through, really just like show that fight and grit every day. Even though like we wasn't winning games, we were still like trying to hold it down, which I think the fans love. And I think that's why we still have those fans to this day. It wasn't a team where it's just like, oh, we're losing games, it's just the Brits, we're rolling over. It's like there was a never quit mentality. So I think that continued and transitioned throughout the season until when the Americans came in and we did get their help. It's like we're still fighting and stuff. And then, we got the personnel that can also finish the job and get the job done as well. So I think it was a great start to a season, even though it wasn't a great start to the season, if that makes sense. You know, as in like we tried to establish that identity for the club and for the club to then continue to, you know, to grow and be where it's at. Yeah, so I think that's on the team aspect. Personally, I just felt like, you know, I'm here to do a job, you know, just to come in, give it everything I got, you know, try and win us games, try and play solid as I can be, you know, try and do as best as I can be and be professional at the same time. So I don't think that'll ever change for me. That'll never change for me. That's just how I am, regardless of, you know, Patriots, Raiders, whatever color team I'm playing for. That's just how I'm always going to be, you know.
Yeah, that's good. So like I say, you've been grinding throughout the summer like workouts, and you know during the off season, you know a lot of improvement and a lot of stuff is added during the off season. So what are some things that you've focused on during the off season, and what's been like your mentality approaching workouts and you know sort of different things that you've been doing?
I think my biggest thing is shooting. I feel like once I get my shooting to a point where it's like, all right, cool, I'm shooting 38 to 40% from the three, that's where it's just like, all right, yeah, then, you know, I'm in a comfortable situation. That's like an ideal stat number, shooting ability where, you know, higher teams and higher clubs will start to look at. And then I think this season, my main thing was like my mentality with basketball, like never taking plays off and just being super aggressive, almost to like the end spectrum of aggressive. Like, all right, cool, I need to rein it back in. Because me, naturally, I'm just such a calm person. I'm chilled. I'm like, yeah, man, relax. I'll help people out and stuff like that. And I feel like how you are off the court is how you are on the court as well. So I'm such a giving person, quite laid back. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Or you can do it. Or yeah, sure. I think that happens on the court where it's just like, oh yeah, like, you know, that player's got it type thing. You know, do my little part, defense and stuff. I feel like I need to just be on the other end of the spectrum of just like, cool, I'm picking up full court. Cool, I'm trying to score every single basket. I'm trying to give every dime. I'm trying to get every rebound. Because I know in reality, I'm not going to be always 100%. I'll probably be like 65, 70%. So I think the biggest thing was like really like just focus on my mentality of being aggressive, being assertive, being dominant. And I think the way I worked on that is like through scrimmages, for example, even though scrimmages might not be a good level, they might be a high level, just always being like 100% locked in to everything. Yeah. You know, with workout, well, if it's a short workout, long workout, just being super attentive and like focused on like, all right, cool. If I'm doing this move, let me just do it hard. If I'm shooting this shot, let me be laser focused. You know, so I think there's more mentality's been my biggest thing, accompanied with like shooting. So yeah, I think 100%. Yeah, mentality and shooting. Those have been two things I've been working on.
That's good. So going into that and kind of open up that spectrum a bit more. So with, let's say, different players coming in, different players working on their game. So let's kind of open up that lens for those players. What general advice would you give to players working themselves up to that level and trying to increase their game and to get somewhere in basketball?
That's a good question. I would say biggest thing is never taking plays off, like at any point of practice, you know, whether it's a warm-up. I think I'll say like having just a professional approach to the game. So when you're just warming up, you warm up properly, you know, good warm-up, you know, get a little sweat in, cardio in, so you're ready to go through all the drills, making sure you're laser focused, like you're actually like locked into the drill, mentally locked in, physically locked into the drill. Because there can be boring drills that, you know, people go through boring drills and just like, all right, cool, go through the motions. I think never to go through the motion. And like, you know, when it comes time to scrimmages in practice or running through plays, you're not cheating it, you're going through it properly. So I think definitely like is being professional at all times, you know. And then I think defense as well, because there's always like people are always naturally talented at scoring. There's going to be a naturally talented shooters and stuff like that. But I think defense is an aspect where not many people, like everyone has to play, but no one wants to play, if that kind of makes sense. So I think defense actually separates and like, all right, cool, we can bring this guy in to play defense. And then the more better defense you played, the longer you stay on. The longer you stay on, more opportunities you get on offense. So I think that's kind of how it started for me, like when it was Raiders and I was in my first year. I was just like, cool, let me just lock up the best player on the court, deny them the ball. Once it's offense, let me just sprint out in the break, get a dunk, try and get energy going and stuff like that. Coach will leave me on longer. You start to gain confidence in yourself. The coach gains confidence in you. And then it just literally keeps building on that. So I think defense is like the bottom of the pyramid of this, if that makes sense. You know, definitely starts on defense. So professionalism, defense. I think just having confidence as well, you know. I think everyone can see when a player has confidence. People can see when the player is a bit nervous or shy. Like coaches, teammates, they want someone that's confident on court, you know, because that puts trust in them. And then you put trust in, like you portray confidence, you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, portray confidence to others. So it kind of just builds that trust, you know? So I think that's the biggest, like the big three things, just, you know, being professional at all times, even the little details, you know. Defense, I think that's a foundation that can really get you on court, and then to show what you have to, you know, coaches, teammates, and whoever's around. And, you know, confidence as well. Confidence is a big thing for sure. So I think those are the definitely three biggest things I'll say to like players.
That's really good. It's something that needs to be also relayed to other players. And, you know, players as coaches and such, you can obviously tell them so much as well. But the effect of other players saying these things is I find that is much more effective as they're living through it and they're doing it, you know, and there's actions that they have to take. So that's one thing I definitely wanted to promote and put out there for different players. So I want to also try, well, it's like sort of ranking a list of things, right? So in terms of skills, like, you know, handling, shooting, footwork, defense, going sort of down those sort of skills, what would you say is your number one skill to master, and how, or what would you advise and how would you master it? You can go from like sort of like 1 to 5 or 1 to 3, or just whichever kind of goes the way you want.
Okay, that's a good question actually. I think number one is shooting for sure. 100% number one. And the reason why is because you can be 50 years old, and if you can shoot the ball, you can shoot the ball. You don't need super strength, super speed, jump out the gym. You just need to have right technique and shoot the ball. You know, Steph Curry can still play this game maybe at a slower pace, but still shooting the ball till he's 45. You know, that's the reality of it. Yeah, number one, shooting 100%. You know, you get paid millions to be able to just shoot 40%. So that's less than half the shots you make, which is nuts when you put it like that. You just need to make 45% of threes, and you can get paid millions. Insane. Number two, I think ball handling. You know, if you can control the ball, control the pace of the game, you know, never get the ball stolen from you. You know, you're in safe hands. I think that's very important, you know. Then, this is a tough one. Number one, shooting. Number two, ball handling. Number three, again, I'm going to say defense for sure. If you can just lock down the best player on the other team, it makes life easy for everyone. You know, literally makes life easy for everyone. Even if you're not the main go-to guy on the team, and you can just stop that one person from scoring, at least release pressure off of everyone, you know. They don't score, you know, you create more opportunities for your team to score as well. So, yeah, I would definitely say number one, shooting, hands down. 2, ball handling. 3, defense, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I think that's my 3 as well. Yeah.
That's good, because I was doing a list as well, just to put in terms of what would I put as, you know, the most important or number one in when you have different players coming all the time. I was like, it has to be shooting, because as long as you can shoot, it is such a, like, there's 3 and D players alone. As long as you can guard, you can do all that, you can stop the best, you can slow them down, you can affect on a defensive area, and then you're just able to then just knock it down. Less energy is being used in terms of offensively, because you're not then, you know, have to do so many moves to get to a spot or to get a bucket, and it just makes the game so much easier, because then now let's say throughout the first or 2-3 quarters, you're shooting, your energy is so it's saved. And now it's the fourth quarter and you need to outrun an opponent, run the fast break, or maybe use your athleticism to get that bucket, get an and one, finish through. You kind of say, kind of like it's loading. So no, it's very, very important.
No, exactly. And even like, I just thought of another one as well. And I think I might switch number 3 defense. I think I'll say number 3, working hard. Because people don't think working hard is actually a skill. It is a skill. 100% it is a skill. And even like recently, I see like little posts about it, like, oh, working hard is a skill, hard work is a skill. And before I didn't really understand it. It's just like, oh, working hard is just like, that's something you just do. But the more I like really like looked into it, the more, you know, played basketball and been in the basketball environment, I'm just like, no, working hard is actually a skill, you know? Like some people don't know how to work hard, not necessarily in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to dribble this ball as hard as I can, do 1,000 shots a day, stuff like that. No, it's like working hard consistently. Like, all right, cool. Today, I'm going to get 5 minutes dribbling in, 250 shots, 350 makes, and then make sure I lift for like 20, 30 minutes. And doing that every single day, that's consistent. That's hard work. It's being disciplined. So I think that is a skill for sure. So I'll definitely say shooting, ball handling, and working hard for sure. For sure.
So you've named your list now. Okay, so let's start from shooting.
Yeah.
That was key. What sort of drills and sort of workouts that would you do to improve your shooting? Let's say now you want to improve your form, want to improve consistency just to become an overall better shooter. What are some of the things that you would do to help that skill?
So for me personally, I think my biggest thing has been the fluidity of a shot. So like I would always just start with like form shooting, and I'll just start having the ball 2, 3, 4 feet away from the basket, in front of it, wherever. Literally bouncing the ball. As soon as it touches my hand, just try and keep it as one fluid motion. So it's just transferring like that energy. Like the easier it is to shoot, the more it'll be consistent. You know, the more it'll be a what's the word I'm looking for? Like second nature, a habit, a muscle memory. That's it. Yeah, it'll be more muscle memory when it's easier because you're repeatedly doing something. It's not hard. Your body's, you know, comfortable with it. It'll become muscle memory. So I would always do just dribbling the ball, bouncing it as soon as it touches my hand, just try and be super fluid and just holding my form, locking out my form, and making sure the ball's going high as well. I think that's the one drill that I do now and that I would recommend to others as well. Another drill as well, I think just working off like footwork stuff. So like just throwing the ball out, coming off a curl, just going into it 1-2 step, and then just again shooting it as fluid and as high as I can. That'll be another one. Again, this is all like within the key area, not even threes or anything crazy, like all that stuff. And then probably the last one I'll do is probably like a pickup drill. So it'll be like, all right, cool, free throw line, maybe just inside the key, doing like one hard dribble straight into a shot, you know, getting the quick footwork in, the quick little 1-2, straight into it, shooting as high as I can. Same thing, straight into it as high as I can. And with those, I would make, usually when I do it before workout, I'll try and get 80 to 100 makes in with those ones before I start to work on like pick and roll, mid-range shots or catch shoot threes or anything like that, you know. I think it's important to just work on energy transfer. And a guy that I follow as well on Instagram, his name's Mike Dunn. Like he's big on it, like energy transfer as well, you know, just making sure the ball's close to your body and it's just going in a straight line as much as possible. You know, it's kind of like fighting as well. Like, if you're punch and you're throwing a punch like that, like you ain't knocking no one out. Like, come on, you ain't knocking. It's fluid, you know. Same with shooting. If it's fluid, you know, it's great energy transfer. So I think that's like the drills that I'd usually work on. You know.
That's good. That's great for shooting. And so for ball handling, which was one of the other things, what sort of things would you do to have you done to improve your ball handle and to have that confidence where you don't really have to always look down at the ball, but you just have that confidence that the ball is here, you have control over it, essentially.
Loads of drills. Too many to think of. That's a crazy, like loads. Like, and for me, I think I love doing ball handling drills, so I think that's the easiest thing you can develop in basketball personally. You know, the amount of reps you're doing just from dribbling the ball, like I think it's the easiest thing. I think, what drills? 2-ball handling, because it's something that you're uncomfortable with, you know, stationary and moving as well, and implementing crossovers in different heights, levels of the ball, different movements with the ball, you know, 2-dribble cross, 2-dribble, one behind the back, one in front, just being super creative and like almost pushing yourself to the limit of, oh, this ball's gonna slip out my hand, or I'm gonna lose the ball, it's gonna bounce off my feet. Getting to that limit, you know, when you get out of your comfort zone, that's when you develop, that's when you grow. So I think like 2-ball handling, you know, adding different crossovers in. What else? I think time ball handling as well. I used to do that quite a bit. Just like with 1 ball, front, crossover through the legs, behind the back, seeing how many I can get in 30 seconds, you know, and then do it the other way, and then trying to do it the next day and seeing like, all right, cool, can I beat it? You know, that's just getting your hands better, quicker, you know, and stronger as well. And then I think third thing is just being creative with it, you know, like the more you're creative, the more your brain's going, it's like a whole cognitive pattern and, you know, what's the word? Just a whole cognitive pattern, you know, when you're just creative, just dribbling the ball, you know, you're freestyling it. So even sometimes like back in the days, I'll just joke about it, be like, all right, cool, today Den's Freestyle Friday, just get in the court, just have fun with it. And when hoop mixtape ball is like, boy, that's fun, do whatever, carry the ball, you know, enjoy it, you know. Because when you enjoy something, you're working hard at it, then it's like, all right, cool, I love it. Let me try and do this, let me try and do that. You just gain confidence through being creative, you know. So yeah, so 2-ball handling, you know, adding crossovers, you know, timing yourself with like dribbling drills, you know, trying to really push yourself with it. And then third, just being super creative and freestyling and just having fun with it, seeing what you can do.
Oh yeah, that's good. And I like the freestyle bit as well, because sometimes when you do those freestyles, you start to also develop like counters and go-to moves as well. Because especially counters are the biggest things, because you have there's great defenders out there. Right. And, you know, you have to know they're gonna watch you, they're gonna study you, they're gonna say, okay, these are your moves, these are your moves, this is why you gotta have your counters, so you can switch it up, or you can counter sort of when they try to counter your moves. So I think that's very good, and especially weak hand, you know, weak hand is something that's really has to be pushed as well, because you need to go both ways.
Honestly, yeah,
one way is painful.
Or, you know, like even me, like maybe some people do their scout or whatever like throughout the season, but like I'll be surprised in the scout if they didn't say like Denzel likes to go left all the time, because really I just love to go left, because it's like, all right, cool, I can come back to my spin move, get back to my right hand, cool, I can like do a little step back if I need to, like I can kind of get to my right hand, like, you know, and that's my weak hand, my left hand's my weak hand as well, so it's like I'm almost rather go left than my right hand, which is crazy. So they just go like you're saying, like, you know, go both ways. You have to go both ways. It just opens up the floor, opens up your game. And there's no better feeling than being on the court. Like I can go anywhere I want. Like no better than that. It's just like I can go there for one, I can do there, pull up no better feeling, honestly.
That's good. I'll tell you, when you have that, and it's the confidence, it's because there's now, you don't hear a coach or players saying, yeah, send him left, send him right. Because those are the worst things as well. When you just hear that and you're like, then you're going to try and prove, no, I can go right. You go right, you fumble, and it's okay, yeah, we've got it. But now, that was a mental battle. Now, how you overcome it? And then that affects a lot of people.
For sure. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about quickly, before obviously we just sort of finish up, a moment. So I was on Hoop Space, yeah, and I saw a moment where you was going head to head. You know what? Yeah. So just this is like how is it like sort of obviously playing these opportunities and then going head to head and having those sort of battles with people, you know, because I see it there. I see it also in Ball Out too. Yeah, I see that clip. I see that. I was like, yeah, that's it.
Oh man, I think like, so again, that goes back to the previous question you asked, like, what are you doing over the summer in terms of mentality? Like, that just goes to show, like, these are things I'm working on, you know, like me trying to, you know, dunk on, what's his name? Legend from Surrey. Like, the dude's like 7'1", 7'2". Like, I was probably never going to make that dunk, but it's just the mentality of like, look, nah, I'm going to go up. I don't care who's under the rim. Nah, I'm going for it. He blocks me. Great defense as well, but it's like, it's building that mentality. Same at ball out as well, you know, like me, I don't trash talk, nothing, but it's just like, no, I got to like build that mentality as well. And it was a personal game because they did beat us like 2 weeks before. So that definitely added a little bit of fuel to the fire. Yeah, it's just then building that mentality, you know, for sure. So yeah, those like little clips you see and stuff like that, it's just all me trying to be what I'm aspiring to be aggressive, just be assertive, dominant, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good because I even say when you're attacking, even if there's a tall defender there, you should go for it because then you can also adjust. You know, it may be that you're going up there and you know you see it there, you can always adjust, which is obviously, you know, hang time is great. Well, you know, if you're blessed with great hang time, but it's just to still have the ability to adjust. Those are things that you can do, you can practice and train for. So for people who want to kind of who want those opportunities more to kind of be, you know, scouted and to be pulled in to say, you know, come play here, come for this run, you know, this such. What are the few things that they could do to also build themselves up and put themselves in that sort of situation?
I think it's social media to an extent, you know, definitely just showcasing your skill, you know, what you can do when you do go to events that you're able to go to. So for example, like loads of dudes do in America with like scrimmages and stuff, you know, they get their, you know, tripod out or someone to like record for them doing like scrimmages and stuff like that. And you never know who sees it, you know, like a pro-am team might see it or Division 2 team, 3 team, whoever might see it and just, oh yeah, this guy can play basketball a little bit. Like, would you want to come out for like a practice session and stuff like that? You know, I feel like social media helps, you know, same way I got the opportunity in Greece, you know, it was a social media dude saw like one of my dunks and was just, oh yeah, we need to get him in. So as much as I'm not the biggest fan of social media and I rarely use it, social media is definitely like a great tool to use when used in the right way. And I think like just putting yourself out there in the sense of like, all right, cool, if you hear of a scrimmage going on, just go to that scrimmage. You never know who's around, you know? And it's, you know, it's always good to network. Like me, I'm always shy. I'd like to keep, you know, myself, a little bit shy, whatever, but it's like, cool, let me just talk to this person. Like, oh, yo, how you doing? Like, where'd you play? Like, what do you have going on? Do you go to scrimmages? Blah, blah, blah. And you never know, that person might be like, oh yeah, like we're man down. Like, would you want to come to this like all out tournament or pro-am or even like, oh, do you want to come to this National League like training session? And it just really builds from there. So, you know, definitely social media and just getting out there to as much basketball events as you can go to. You know, people want to network. People want to, you know, meet other people, want to grow together, you know. Like I say to everyone, enough room for everyone to win. I swear, there really is enough room.
Yeah.
It's enough.
That's true. Lastly, just before we head out, with only what you can say, because, you know, there's certain things that you just want to work on in silence. But what is next for you? So what's the next sort of things for you, which you can, only things that the small things that you can reveal, not your whole entire plan, just because you know, yeah.
So I can say like, so recently, you know, whenever this comes out, so couple like last weekend, so I was with the Patriots guys. I haven't officially signed back there, but I was still there to like, you know, help out with like numbers wise and, you know, give them an extra body on court. So I was just in France with them for, you know, a preseason trip, which is a great experience. Again, networked with a few people and stuff like that. So I've signed with an agent right now. So we're just looking for teams abroad. That'll be the main focus right now, just looking abroad, seeing, you know, another culture and life of basketball outside of England, and then, you know, just hopefully signing and just seeing where that can take me. So, you know, that's kind of the next steps right now, just looking for a team, free agent somewhere abroad, you know, but still working, still grafting away. Same thing, man.
You know, that's really good, man. And you know, I know something's gonna pop up, like things are gonna pop up where it's just like now you're gonna be like, where do I go? So
yeah.
No, it was really good to catch up and talk and just it's been a while, and everything I've experienced in that span is been a lot. Like there's a lot that's actually gone on.
So traveling holidays with my missus and the fam, Bali, Turkey as well. Like it's a lot happening in 2 years. It's crazy to think COVID was 2 years ago and lockdown and all that stuff. But yeah, man, still good, healthy, blessed.
Yeah, exactly. That's good, man. Yeah, guys, make sure I'll put all the socials and such, everything linked in the description and in the tags as well. So this will be up on the Hoopfiles Instagram page, and I'll also link that to you as well. So that's where everything will sort of be. But yeah, no, it was really good to catch up. Good to see that you're good, you're healthy, you've been enjoying life.
Yeah,
that's the main thing, to seeing how you were and how things were going.
yeah, 100%, man. Still gotta keep going. Still gotta keep striving, getting to another level.